through.
Yep.
Do we want to start?
Yep, we can bring that up. Can you bring it up on the screen? Because this thing's gone all weird, like on me. I can't. The zoom's all messed up.
Your computer. Oh, there you go.
Computer.
Computer.
Oh, you know what it is? It might be because you haven't got yours up. So yeah, if you get your
Get your shit together, Maxwell. There you go.
I'm just gonna, my neck hurts. I'm just gonna go take a higher view here. Sorry, I'm not trying to take the power position in the room or anything. I'm just trying to. I just want to.
I'm trying to position this screen so it's not right in my face. Okay. Right. Tell you what, I'm lucky I've got Jude. No other one would be as patient.
What the fuck?
You did stuff. Oh, I thought you'd cut off there. Just
No. Are you? Yeah. So you're loading something up on the shared computer, are you?
I've got my shared window up.
Yep. Can you load? Can you load the JSON format thing?
Oh Jesus.
I'm trying to do the same, but I'm just trying to come at it from a different angle.
Yeah. I did do it before because you can copy and paste. But it's not been wildly useful. Or right. Right. Okay. Link copied. It says. All right. Prove it. Oh, fuck's sake. I need to get this there.
It's kind of crappy, eh? Like I'm like, it's so good, but it's just.
My keyboard's got some. Okay, let's try.
It's so bad at the same time.
The keyboard just fucking disappeared.
Oh yeah, you got to use the app drawer and you got to pull it up.
No, it's just here. It was just.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but you kind of that's too bad. It doesn't care.
Oh right. Well, that's my keyboard. Okay. Does that work? No, of course it doesn't.
What you doing?
Looks like.
What you doing?
Oh, yeah, you got it.
I got it.
Alright. I'm gonna try it on this one. It's back. It's not doing fuck all. It's gone again. Alright, okay, forget that. So anyway, straightforward answer. No, I can't get the JSON format up.
That's cool. I might have a way to do that for you. Hang on.
Seem to have generated fucking hell about 6 screens here. I'll kill some of these. Maybe that's interfering. Right.
Okay. Now.
Right.
Right.
Where were we?
What are you doing? Okay. Get up.
What? there's no persistent memory here at all in this fluid, is it?
Yeah, there is. You can add things to the app drawer. There's just no persistent memory on the shared computer. That's the issue.
Right. Okay, that's not really useful.
Neither is Windows, but look how successful it is.
Yes.
Right, so where we at? Here is the example config file.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, when I was looking through this, I can't remember what notes. Oh, you updated this since last time.
Mine and some minor changes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing would be helpful, and I think, well, you're still in JSON C, which is
No, this is only because just because the example, I made the example one JSON C so I can have comments,
right.
because this
Okay.
is supposed to be an explanatory thing.
Got it. So now there is. I was thinking the only thing when I was looking through this was get my head around tools and tool discovery. So I'm thinking. So I was thinking along the lines. I've been looking back through what we've been doing on the CRM,
Yep.
which is kind of cool. Uh, and a lot of the stuff that we need with CRM really comes down to persistent storage. Because the CRM ERD that we've got at the moment works quite well. If you were to add in permissions, which is a tools call, okay, can you do that as in identify yourself, and then the folder structure will tell you whether you can or you can't. But then it's like, where's that persistent folder structure going to go? As in, it's easy enough to have a folder structure, but literally, where does that go? So I was going to ask you about, the tools for, you got files which will write to the current thread, but files to write
Oh,
to.
right. Yeah. Okay. So the concept of current thread is what I'm trying to ditch. Let me try and draw a diagram to show you what I mean. This is sort of like, I hate being in this position where I'm like trying to change some stuff, but haven't got there yet. I'm a little unsure, but I know sort of how things go, and then I am trying to explain it. And then if that
Yeah, no,
explanation turns out
don't
wrong,
worry about
then
that.
that kind of fucks it up. But I'll give it my
I'm in,
best shot.
in exactly the same situation. It's like,
Yeah. So right now, the biggest change is really that in the existing Dreamcatcher, or on HAL in long thread, you were always operating in the current executing branch, and you were always editing files in that branch, and you were also running or executing the files that were on that branch too, right? So it was all just, you're in this one branch.
yeah,
But
sorry, man, give me 2 secs.
okay,
My screen is just popped off somewhere. Oh, what's it doing over there? Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, I'm going to have to go out and come back in. If I
okay.
kill this, will it kill it?
No,
Or will you
so long as
still
one of
have...
us is here. So long as one of us is here.
I can't kill it because it's actually behind me. Okay, I'm going to have to move over there.
Hey, what you doing, buddy?
Um, for some reason, screen jumped over to the other side of the room.
You can't grab it? Like if you grab it using
No,
the
no,
hand.
not when you're at the wrong side of the screen. Apparently,
Yeah, you can.
you
I
can
did
grab it.
that before. You want to grab the back side of the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just you just point at it and then use the not the trigger but the grip, and then it flips it around for you.
All right. Okay. Well, that would have saved me a few seconds. Right, I'm back.
Lifetimes are made of a few seconds, my friend.
Yeah, just one damn thing after another. Yep. Okay.
All right.
Yep. Back.
I prefer being up here anyway. Right, so the way that it's been changed is oh crumbs. How do I even draw that? So you got your the start of the repo here.
Yep.
Then I immediately create a fork which actually has nothing to do with the files contained in this thing, and this is the execution branch. And so it goes along doing all the calculations and the running of things.
All right. Yep.
And then along here, this is the files branch. That may be the wonkiest straight line I've ever drawn. Then when it's time for, so this branch can read from the files branch, but
Uh-huh.
when it's time to write something, it causes the commit rather than doing a merge or doing a PR. It can actually say, I want to change these files in this way. The system carries across the instruction, creates the commit.
Yep.
And so it looks like this new model, it looks like how a traditional Git branch looks, where it looks like the developer made some changes. No one questions how. They just magically appeared, and then you've sort of gone into the next set of changes and all that. You can trace the lineage if you look at the execution branch, but if you just looked at the files changing, it just says system updated, blah, 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 bang.
Yep.
And then that's the changed files. Now, when you're doing something that is a little bit sketchy, you make a fork and you work on files here. But instead of having so many commits, just that sort of tirade of commits, it's only committing meaningful changes. And when you're ready, you go, I want to merge back. And then you do an actual merge back to that main branch once you want to save your files permanently. So an example would be that sort of down here, you can see my arrow when I move it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
about food,
so
lasers.
right. So down here, you would, for example, be updating customer records and doing several different changes. And then once you're comfortable with it all, you update them all in one shot back to the main shared branch, for example.
Right. Now, what about conflicts at that point?
Conflicts at that point need to be handled by the execution thread. It would go to do the merge. It would realize there's a conflict, and then the conflict resolution mechanism would kick in here, which can be anything from manual intervention to AI intervention to a warning to the user to, you know, any method we choose plus ones that we choose to build in the future. That's how conflicts are handled.
All right. Good. All right.
Does it help or what?
Yeah. Probably doesn't answer the full question. So I've been going through these narratives and stories and so on,
Yeah.
with more than, well, the trivial case is one person. Um, but if you have more than one person, usually you have a hierarchy inside a company, and you need to put up, for example, with this merge place, it would be right. This is, can I ask kindly for my one-up manager
Yeah.
guy to
This
say that's all right.
this sounds like, and I appreciate that this might be frustrating for me to say this, but it sounds like that's too into the weeds, because as soon as I have a working system, these questions will be instantly obvious to you,
Okay.
because
All right.
I'll be able to be like, here's it running, and then you can play with it to your heart's content, and do this and do that, and you can come to me with problems, that are things that came because of usage, rather than me explaining a theoretical system to you and you coming up with theoretical problems, and then me making more theoretical types of answers. Uh, um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to understand how the system works so that you can make narratives that match with the system. Is that right?
Yeah. Or I'm actually working on narratives that would be reasonable for someone, you
Yeah. So what I
in a
think,
CRM environment.
what I ask of you to change is to
Hmm.
ignore how the system is or isn't, and simply insist on how the end effect that it needs to have for the user. Like,
Um, yeah. Okay. A lot of the stuff me thinking about over the weekend has been around um, uh, permissions, and what you can and can't do, because we've already proven that we can get workflows done. That's easy enough. We can even set folders,
yeah,
but it's like,
permissions should be left till the absolute last, because permissions is quite hard to do. Um,
okay, yeah,
it's and it's also it's sorry, not hard to do. Like, we know how to do it. We don't know when to do it or why to do it. That part's not clear. And for if you take, for example, the CRM, we don't need permissions to run the CRM and deliver it in a meaningful way. We actually don't,
um,
because
okay, go on. Sorry.
because all the people, the staff that are going to use it, are sitting in the same room. And like, if someone
Okay.
does
Oh,
something,
you're talking about. All right. Okay. Yeah, you're talking about the guys we know are going to be
the tracking
talking
guys,
with.
yeah. And so that's why I'm like, the
Yeah.
permissions, like, the only permissions I personally care about is, can I keep my data private from everyone else in the world, and am I the only one that can make changes to it? Which is a very selfish view to take, because it's not really taking part in any kind of shared system. But permissions is a gnarly concept, and I would dearly love if we left it until we actually had some working simple systems, and then try and figure out how we want the permissions to be and how to implement them, because there's a lot of different ways that we could choose to do it. It's just like the use case of it is, like, permissions are hard even on highly evolved battle tested systems. They're really
Oh,
hard.
I think. Oh, I think we might have a namespace clash here. By permissions, I could probably be more clear in business rules, as in customer agent can't transfer £1 million out of the bank account, but could ask. Uh, so that's effectively a fork, and it's like, well, what are you asking? I'll set up in your in this branch, effectively his sandbox. It's like, okay, this will answer, and this is a really cool feature actually. Um, you're effectively parking here, and you're getting asked by any person in the company, right? I want to make this change. Is it possible? Do I need to bother my one up? And here's what it looks like. And it's like, oh, I'll make a mistake. No, I'll undo. I'll fuck around here.
Mm,
But then you wrap it up. But it's like a rubber stamp it, please, for me. Person who has the authority to rubber stamp this thing. That pattern seems to come up quite a lot when
yeah,
thinking through the CRM. It's
yeah.
like,
So that's actually not an important pattern at all for the delivery of the CRM, the first one, because there is no the users are trustworthy.
yeah, okay,
And they
yeah,
also know their jobs, and
yeah,
we have the safety that we can roll back the system anywhere. So
yeah, okay,
I
yeah,
understand what you're saying there, but that's actually not an early deliverable.
yeah, okay,
That
all right.
also
So,
how how are you getting on with that diagram? Because that's the most
yeah,
important thing to me.
yeah, yeah. Well, the diagram is I can't share it.
You can't
Okay.
share it.
Well, no, because we're on a shared screen.
Yeah. That's a problem, isn't it?
Well,
Hmm.
I could send it over. Where's my diagram at the moment?
Well, what good would it do to send it over? Because one of us has to bring it up.
Um,
That's frustrating,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, okay. Well,
That
so
is
the
very frustrating.
I'll describe it. Okay,
Oh, I know.
promise.
What about
Yeah.
can you
Oh, hey, yeah.
can you
Well, okay.
access the image on your private browsers in Fluid? Or even that's hard.
I've not tried that actually. Possibly.
Well, there's another way to do it. Can you send it to WhatsApp? Have you got it in WhatsApp, or what do you got? You got it.
Well, it's a mermaid chart at the moment. And this morning I was just fucking around with the format of it. Sorry, I've got my glasses on and headset slightly off. What would be the best way to do this?
If you can send it to me on WhatsApp, or yeah.
Give me 2 secs. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? All right, I got. Oh, I can send you over the MD over WhatsApp. But I'm not sure how much use that's going to be.
This is very
There's
frustrating.
some, there's some formatting to be done, as you will see. Actually, they should be able to. Oh, I send over the URL. Is that a public URL? Let's find out.
Yeah, it is.
Send
It
you over
is.
the
It
URL
is.
with live editor.
Yeah, send that over.
It seems pretty unique, so I'm not sure if it's going to get suddenly going into VR space. But in essence, it's what we're talking about. So we've got the JSON, we've got environment, host, got your naps. Now there is one topic when I was going through this, which is I think I raised it last time. The a kind of hierarchy of naps, as in permissions around naps. Nobody should be able to fuck around with files. Nobody should be able to fuck around with just a straight AI API nap unless they want to augment it. Oh, hey, here we go. It's not rendering. Why is it not rendering? Oh, because that's not my chart.
Is it missing something?
Yeah, the code. That's not it. Let me try and do the cut and paste again.
That's what you sent me.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that is what I sent you, but for some reason it's not actually. This is not the code you're looking for. Oh, fuck's sake. Fuck. It's not letting me copy. Read more. This is really quite frustrating, actually. Yep. I was going to do it.
But you've got the raw. You gave me the raw markdown, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, so I'll take that.
And should be. It's not letting me cut and paste for some reason from WhatsApp, because I think it's probably. Oh, I wonder if I open a browser from inside and then go into. Oh, fuck it, I don't know. Hold on. So it doesn't have to have WhatsApp, does it? No. Well, I can publish on X, but I can't actually fucking show on screen. Okay.
It's quite the conundrum.
How to work around lack of functionality. What's the best way to do this? Probably just describe it. If you go back to the skeleton drawer, but yeah, we're using up too much time. Oh, using up too much time on this, I think. Oh shit! Hang on. Let me do a shitty. The controller battery is dead.
This is so funny.
Not fucking happy about this. Can you give me 2 minutes? I'm just gonna.
Okay,
number
buddy.
one, get my left hand back, and number two, try and get a better way of. Is JSON correct? No, that's completely wrong. That's not what's sent. All right. Okay. Try opening that on your local PC and see if it works, because I have no idea what this is.
I've got it. It just I can't.
You can't paste into the code part. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's so annoying. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. All right. Anyway, right. Give me 2 secs. I'm gonna find a double way and get my left hand back. Be right back.
Okay, good luck, buddy.
still gonna grab I don't know, website URL or paste the link. I tried this link just on a fresh browser, and it works. So no idea why it's not working for you or us.
Hey, I got it.
You got it? No.
Oh, no, I didn't. I had it. It changed it while it loaded. There's something funny going on with this browser. I had the actual link pasted.
It's
and
not doing anything.
Like, this is not our diagram. This diagram belongs to someone else. Like, the cache has been, like, the cache has been
this is not the diagram
swapped.
you're looking for. Right, we're wasting a lot of time here. Well, I'll just describe it. I'm using the gift of ScannerDraw.
Okay.
I'll show you because there is an important thing I want to think about.
Okay, because the thing that bothers me is that I understand your eagerness to get into the nitty gritty of the actual prompting and all that, but the work that both of us are shying away from is the business model, the context diagram that lays out the.
Oh no, I've been doing a bit of stuff on that in the background as well. So I pulled out our last 4 conversations into a bot and got it to summarize what we're trying to do in terms of the business diagram. Sorry, not the business diagram, but the things that we've been talking about in terms of gateway, structure of the gateway, sources of funding, and so on. But again, inside of this, there's no way to show. But that's the end product. So the diagram is just basically a diagram with that extra layer that we had. This is not prompting, but the question I had was, can I draw on this?
Yeah.
Well, that's hypothetical because right, I got a browser open. Kill. No. Right. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. So you've got JSON at the bottom. Sorry, what the hell is that? Then you've got the host environment. In our case, Deno. Hold on a second. I'm just going to refer to my notes. Yeah. So that's your environment, and then there the combination of your choices about GSR, Deno, etc., gives you the. I think you're keen on using host for that name. Then above that, you've got what effectively is your desktop, and in our case, that's Dreamcatcher. So now this is the first part that you actually can interact with. Then above that, assuming on the Dreamcatcher, you've got your user naps. God, I feel like a 4-year-old doing this. User naps. So the thing is, the interaction you need is this grey area between naps that can directly call out for NL. Needs to be at the Dreamcatcher level because the Dreamcatcher isn't all just tools. Artifact is just all tools. Now, Artifact is way down here. You got the format, and you got your tools, and you got your choice of environments, and then you got DC, and that's what we build. So the DC needs some form of NAP that is a protected NAP that calls, for example, Reasoner. And then on top of that, you've got the user NAPs. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing that. You let anyone say, okay, so I've got access to O1, and I'm going to just do this API call, but then you bypass the payment gateway. So it's like, well, actually, what we'd like you to do is to use our O1 gateway. Our O1 NAP that is tied into your permissions and authentication, and into your single sign-on and your single billing, instead of just building your own user NAP, which can go out and bypass that entire thing. So there's a bit of a leak there, if that makes sense. Now, there's various other things, but to boil it down, I think we need some kind of 2 layers of NAPs. Some nobody can touch, or we can touch, but nobody else. And you have to use these, which means we need to restrict the user NAPs from not effectively doing the same thing as we're doing on the platform, because then it's a bit like a SQL injection.
Yeah, but hang on. Why do you care about defining these restrictions now?
Because what I want to do is, so for each of these layers, we've got, okay, so we've got the gateway. For space. How do you zoom out? Oh. Okay, so we've got two things here that we need to do, right? So there's the gateway. Yeah, that's gateway. And then, shut up. And then you've got DC, right? So gateway is non-profit, right? And takes a tax in order to run the platform, which that includes the things like running the demo costs, but also restricts most importantly the JSON config. It's like the gateway, whatever it is, the board on that one are the only ones that can add anything or change anything once we get it set up. We'll figure that one out about how the artifacts, sorry, not the artifacts, the articles of association of the gateway are set up so that everyone is confident with that. Then we're building the DC on top of that. So those seem really straightforward. We've got Delaware for this thing. We've got wherever we want for Dreamcatcher, and anyone else can build whatever they else want, assuming that they are compliant with the gateway. So that seems straightforward enough. Now, the thing then falls into, well, where's the funding coming from? Where we're going to get the cash from this? Now, we get cash with the gateway is non-profit, so we're not going to get cash for that. We'll get enough to keep it going, but that's not really the cash thing. The cash thing is the Dreamcatcher, but it seems very easy to, at the moment, use even inside of DC, your own app that can go out, because it's an API call, and it's a generic API call. You could do anything, and then the tax, I guess it is.
What's buddy? Is there a question here? Like, you're kind of just going through making statements about the platform, which I don't disagree with, but was there a question coming about it? What's the
Yeah, sorry. To get to the point, naps need to be wrapped in some form of permissioning system. Um, it needs to
why is
be,
that a
yes.
concern now though? Like that's not you're
Well,
complicating
what I'm
this
trying to
thing
do,
because we're not like
well,
um
what I'm trying to do at the moment is to figure out how to explain if we were to go for funding, um, where's your cash coming from?
so if you were to describe the task you're doing now, it would be that you're attempting to describe the dream catcher to an investor so that they know how they're going to get paid.
An investor or a community of crowdfunders or a bunch of users, less so, but essentially investors, yes, absolutely.
But in
Uh,
our terminology, they would be the funders of something.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The
Okay.
source
And
of funds,
why is
yeah.
this an issue now? Like why?
Because I'm trying to get this correct. So at the moment, it seems very easy that you can virtually use the entire system, and except for uh, well, um, the requirement is let me state this: the requirement is everything is a NAP. That's not a tool. Yeah,
What? Naps are tools as well. They hold the tools.
they hold the tools, but they're not tools themselves. Tools are bytecode.
You can call
NAPs
a nap
are
as a tool. That's
uh,
how
uh,
when you're calling their natural language interface.
yeah. However, a NAP is a combination of the JSON and natural language.
Okay, but what's the point of that distinction?
The point of that distinction is there's a fundamental piece about some of these naps we want to restrict, I think, um, so that
Yeah, but how does that
we
reflect? How is that required for the task of explaining to a funder how they're going to get paid?
because the funder, if they're worth their salt, is going to quite quickly work out, well, you've got this generic set of, basically, we've got a standard. And okay, so we set up Deno and so on, how to get paid with Deno and so on. And then you've got a whole bunch of other naps that call out other services, and we need to fund that thing. And so we've got the gateway. We're not asking for funding for the gateway because the funding is effectively a not for profit. So why would a funder want to go for it? We want funding for the DC, and it seems very easy to actually do an end run around even inside of the DC just by writing your own NAP saying, actually, I'm not going to use any of your NAPs for tokens. Can't get past Deno, can't get past JSR, but get past everything else. So my question is, do we want to have permissioning on NAPs? Which is why I raised it earlier on. Um, it seems like there should be, from the investor's point of view, if you're running this thing and beyond getting just paid for the electricity it's using, say, we want some form of, income from this, and
So you
ultimately
want a force payment.
through,
You want a force payment, right?
um, you know, want some way of saying below this point, you don't fuck with it. Above that point, yeah, let's just go
You
for it.
can't have that, and it's in an open source system. Everyone fucks with everything,
Mm, okay.
right?
Mm. Well, yes. Technically, there's the what we called last time the dark dream catcher. Um,
Dude, I don't know why this is a concern. This is not helping us to describe how the usage of the system goes, right?
well, the usage of the system really comes down to follow the money. So where's the money going? So there's money going out from Deno and JSR and whatever
Yeah.
we need at this level. Okay.
Yeah, but
So
you're
where's the money
focusing on
going?
a leak in the system where someone can use the software and not pay, but who
Yeah.
cares? Like we should be focusing on people who are using the system and are paying. Like it's software. It didn't cost us
Yeah.
anything if they run it. Like not
Um,
us not getting paid by them didn't cost us anything.
well, we still have the environment to pay for.
But only when people are using it. And if they're paying us to run the environment, we're getting paid. Great.
Okay. So
There's no
the
way that we
environment
would run the
has
environment and not get paid for it. That's just the nature of running infrastructure. It's a big fat wall where you're like, unless you've got a positive money balance with us, we're not going to run your code. You
yeah,
can run
but
it
we're trying
yourself.
we're interested in getting funding for the DC, right?
Yeah, but
Uh,
look, I just want to jump out of this little rut here and
yeah.
talk a bit more about what the overall structure of funding I think needs to look like. Um, and this is just a recent thought I want to share. Um,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
it actually starts to look as though the system we are proposing is a way to do decentralized revenue for very small projects. And so that
Mhm.
the purpose is that you can start a venture within this environment and with very little overhead, you can be guaranteed that you are clear of securities regulation because the revenue coming from building the thing is guaranteed to be decentralized. And if we can,
Mhm.
I think that's actually the thing that we're all along have been trying to create
Mhm.
and if we can do that, then we know a bunch of people that care about that a lot, and that's the crypto crowd because
Yeah.
they need that. They're all trying to make these projects. They got some projects that are classed as decentralized only because they're massive, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you got all these little guys that can't get decentralized enough, and so they're getting like mauled by the SEC, or they're too afraid to start, which is an even greater loss. And so
Mhm.
I think our offering is really trying to say that we're trying to make a decentralized revenue system. And so the best place to get money for that is from the crypto crew, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. Oh, oops. Uh, where's undo? I didn't mean to do that. Doesn't matter. Oh, there it is. That comes in the gateway list of off the shelf T's and C's contracts and so on. Yeah, because what we want is, correct me if I'm wrong, um, some big player comes in and says, I've got uh, uh, level of understanding that you guys will get information from us, and then you get random small guy from wherever in here, and you get a medium-sized company in here, and they come together just in time company in order to produce a thing. So it's all around the legalities as far as the funder will be concerned. The DC is lovely, yeah, sure. And we've got the contribution attribution and the growth curve that we expect from that. but the legalities around the gateway seem to be the thing that actually enables that. I did
Where?
say this would take a week or two
Yeah, but
to
it doesn't.
actually
It doesn't.
work
Yeah,
through.
yeah, but it doesn't mean that you have to. Like, the thing, that diagram that we spoke about and we were enthusiastic about.
Mhm.
Can we not get a cleaned up version of that diagram without all this detail in it?
Yeah, sure. But that cleaned up break diagram, um, I'll send over. All that's got is the additional layer removal of the dark
Yeah,
dream
so
catcher, obviously, when you want to
why
create.
don't we agree to get that correct? Like, because that's not, all these other things are like the details of some edge cases with a slant towards things that fail. But that's not what I'm trying to get here. I'm trying to get a view of the context of the Dreamcatcher, not the all the things that can go wrong with it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right, but I mean, like, do you think that that's the right task to be doing here? Because
The diagram, unfortunately, there's no way to show it. But
mm,
you remember it, the one I sent over,
yeah, I remember it.
the
Yeah,
scratchy one.
yeah,
Or we added in an additional hosting layer and removed. There was anyone can bring in their own version of Dreamcatcher. And it's
yeah,
like, no, let's not talk about that.
yeah. Because
And then that's
I
it.
really want to get
So
that into a state that we can put it in as a blog post.
okay. Well, that's easy enough. What I was thinking about before that, though, is if we put it into a blog post, I'm trying to, I don't know, channel my own investor. And it's like, well, okay, that's all lovely, but what you asking me to invest in? We're asking you to invest in Dreamcatcher. It's like, wow, oh, shit. One
I'm
second.
not sure. Like, it just feels like there's something that we're missing a lot or misaligned on, you and I. Like, it's almost like we don't agree on what the task definition is or what the purpose of the task is at some level. And I don't know what it is exactly, but it just feels misaligned.
Okay, well, let me state what I think it is,
Okay. All right.
and then we can sync.
Okay.
So, the first part of it, which unfortunately, because of
Do you want to
mm,
just jump into
well,
workrooms? Would that speed this up?
probably not. Well,
Oh, okay.
we could, but because you've got it in front of you, you know the
Yeah,
diagram.
okay.
So
Yeah.
there's an extra level, and that dark things
Yep,
taken off.
yep,
Okay, so
yep.
that's how you construct it. Okay, so that's task one. The second one is let's get a bunch of narratives about how it'll be used, and using CRM as our kind of patient zero. Um, and then the third one is well, okay, so where's the funding going to come from? Showing that patient zero can be built using this. What's the um, what's the incentive for funders to actually give us cash to do that? Now it's easy enough if you've got patient zero is just going to pay for it directly. Sure, and you got inside of DC, but
Buddy,
there is
this doesn't sound like a task definition. You sound like you're telling me about the solution. Weren't you trying to tell me
well,
what the task definition was?
well, I'm telling you about the steps that each need to be solved.
Yeah, but why? Why? That's what I think we're missing on. That's what I think we're disconnected on. Why are you
Okay.
doing that?
Well, rather than the why, because it doesn't matter why. Uh,
Why
you,
does it not matter?
what's your no. Because maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm a brain fart or whatever. Maybe the moon's misaligned. The why of it, but the fact that the what of it. So that is the what. Now, so let's get aligned on this one. So what's your a similar description of what we're aiming at here overall?
What we should be doing is to orient ourselves in the technological landscape, given that we have suddenly and quite rapidly shifted to be this JSON function calling platform with the Dreamcatcher built on top of it. And we
Mm-hmm.
need to understand more about particularly that JSON function calling layer. We need to understand where we fit in the world there, who are our competitors, um, what services do we rely on to run this JSON function calling platform, because they're different to just running anything that we've talked about before. They're different to running the Dreamcatcher. And without that context diagram that you and I can agree on, we do not yet agree on what the JSON function platform is, what it means to our path, and we don't have any way to explain to the world how this quite quite large change fits into things.
No, we're not too far away. I think we're coming at it from different directions, though. What I'm trying to do at the moment with this is not get into the particular weeds, but understand where the value's coming. Or no, sorry, where the uh, what do we offer that others don't? Is a better way of doing it. A better way of saying it. Because if we don't know what we offer, uh, comparing it to competitors is like, mm, you know, you guys don't have a JSON format. It's like, okay, so we don't need one. We've just got internal stuff that we control. Black box, nobody cares because we're still creating value and building stuff and so on. So I don't think it's without understanding exactly what the emergent functions are that we get from this, it's very difficult to compare. And I'll give you a specific example. So, the Google had that. It's a sandbox at the moment.
Wait, are you
Notebooks.
saying that it's hard to compare what this
Without no,
theoretical
yeah,
platform we have?
without defining what the emergent properties are of this platform. So what you're comparing it against is like you
That
could,
part I would say is very easy. We are comparing it against other package registries. We are comparing it against other agent hosting platforms. Like, why is that hard? Why does that seem hard to you?
because there's well, let's drill down on package registries.
Yeah.
Okay, we're using JSR.
Well,
Yep.
yes, but we're
And
also using any other package registry as well, and our competitors are those package registries.
right.
Because
Okay. So
we're trying to be a package registry. We weren't trying to be a package registry 2 weeks ago. Now we are, and that's kind of
yeah,
that's kind of the heart of the problem. I'm like, that's a whole new realm that we never ever in our wildest dreams even talked about going into, and now here we are being like, oh yep, that seems like the place to be.
yeah. Now
Okay,
the
and that's the thing that we need to understand very thoroughly what the fucking environment looks like. That's what I'm driving at for this whole thing.
so for example, let's keep it at that level because it's quite useful. So I mean, what we're saying is we have a format. and we are wrapping it in any registry that you want. We've chosen JSR. You can choose your own one.
Well, we are starting with JSR, but our plans
Yeah.
are to wrap all the registries that run modern code, all of them.
Right. Right. Okay. Now, the competitive landscape is not package registries. It's natural language apps.
No, we have accidentally and unwittingly entered into the realm of competition for package registries and competition for serverless hosting frameworks. This is the problem.
Yeah, but
This is the problem. We weren't in that game. Now we are. And what's more, we need to be really damn good at that game because I see that as a booster rocket to strap the Dreamcatcher onto. The Dreamcatcher, until this thing came along, was a solution looking for a big ass problem. It was sort of like it was cool and it solved some little problems, but it didn't have
mhm.
anything to really like crunch into. This thing, this package registry, this serverless hosting framework, that's a big thing. We can jump on that and we can put the Dreamcatcher right in the cockpit of that rocket.
I think this is why we might be misaligned here, because I'm looking at okay, so yes, to what you just said, but the value really is in bringing AI into a package registry format where you can deploy that just in time and do all that good stuff that Dreamcatcher does, or whatever
Not
anyone else
really.
wants to do with it.
Not really. Not really. That's one of the benefits. There's a significant benefit that is simply being able to get your existing code to communicate between languages as well as to be hosted in a very simple, uniform way.
And
That's
so
separate.
the
That's separate to
can I
having
just check?
anything to do with AI.
Yeah, I think this is where we're at. I think we can choose which direction, but if we're to remove AI from it, as you say, separate from
Yeah,
AI,
yeah,
what we'd have is a JSON format
yeah.
and Deno, GSR, etc., um, and others that wrap that up, which is kind of cool. It's really cool.
I. It's more than kind of cool. That's a business unto
Yeah,
itself. That's a thing that we
yeah.
could feasibly launch a company, raise some capital, and charge some good money for offering that as a service where
Ah,
these
right.
the naps
Yeah, this is.
format was in fact just serverless framework format, and if you wrote your application in this form we could easily host it for you with just a click. And we could make your apps talk between languages, which has been a curse for development. It's like reverse Babel somehow. Like that in itself is a business. That's an enterprise. We could
It
launch that.
is, but um, so this is where I'm gonna. I agree. That's an opportunity, but that's going up against the big boys. I think where we,
Yeah, and this is the problem. This is
uh,
why I'm nervous. This is why I'm upset. This
yeah,
is why
but
I'm a bunch of negative
but
emotions because
yeah, but
going up against the
this,
big boys is typically classed as a bad idea.
yeah, but the thing is, the superpower here comes down to the instructions.md part of the NAP. Okay, so we got all the package stuff that you just talked about.
No,
Yeah.
I disagree with you very strongly on that point.
So
We have a lot of
okay.
disagreements, you and I, and that's fine. We'll get through them. But this is the
Uh-huh.
reason for these calls.
Yeah.
So the reason why I disagree
Mm.
is that the AI doesn't actually matter two hoots. The the reason why I'm panicking is that we've stumbled upon something that we know and the people we associate with have agreed with is very good for the internet. Now, that means that it's very good for the big boys too. And the reason for the panic is that we got only one thing going for us, and that's a very early start. And now by the time we've sort of we could outmaneuver the big guys on this one. But even then, the real sort of benefit is that this is the opportunity to see or test whether the Dreamcatcher is faster than a traditional corporation method of launching this thing. This thing is valuable on its own without the AI. If you add into the fact that it's also useful for AI, then that's just really an amplifier. But the thing that is really the value is that we get to test here whether the Dreamcatcher principles can be leveraged to outmaneuver the big guys once they start moving down this path.
I sort of agree with that, but I disagree with. Um, this is quite nuanced conversation and really really useful one.
Yeah, this is the shift I'm
So
looking for. This is it.
yeah, so we've got down here what could just be traditional bit code way of debabbilizing between languages and packages.
Yes.
Good idea, brilliant idea. Now, uh, the reason I'm saying we shouldn't ignore AI into that one is around discovery and testing. Because the discovery and testing piece makes that much more than just a format. Everyone follow
Right,
our
but
format.
it doesn't make it doesn't make its essence new. It just amplifies its essence. And
Well,
because
I think it's yeah,
right, it doesn't change what it is
to make it
fundamentally.
useful. Yeah, I'm sure there's. I don't know. Actually,
I'll
I
give
was
you a
going to say
very
I'm
good
sure
example. I'll give you a
someone's.
very good example of why that doesn't actually matter. Is because if you
Mm,
take npm, which is currently the world's largest package registry across any language, you can guarantee that because they're owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft is the biggest promoter of AI that I've ever seen. Like, they are absolute whores. They will include AI powered discovery inside the npm registry. That's definitely coming. So if that's now
Um,
in the world's biggest registry, you can't also claim it as something that's special for us. It's just going to be table
yes, but
stakes.
yeah, but the thing is, well, that's exactly the term, table stakes. I think we need to include AI into
Oh yeah,
discovery
I
and
was not
testing.
saying that we would not include it, and but I'm saying that including the AI doesn't change the essence of this new thing that we're offering. It simply amplifies it. The Dreamcatcher doesn't change the essence of what we're offering, it just amplifies it. It's good for us for the Dreamcatcher because we can strap the Dreamcatcher onto this thing that doesn't need the Dreamcatcher and actually place our bet that the Dreamcatcher model of venture is better than the capitalist model of venture. That's our bet, and we can take it here. We can make that bet here.
Um, hmm,
But to understand that bet requires a bunch of rethinking and reworking. And when I'm hearing what you're poking at, I believe that your mind is still thinking in the way that we were thinking 2 weeks ago, and I do not feel that you have taken on board the shift that's occurred, and I'm trying to reconcile that with you.
um, yeah, that's very possibly the case. Um, so the way I'm been thinking about this, okay, so you got debabbilizer.
Hmm.
All right, so basically you got whatever language you want. We're going to put a wrapper on it. Um, JSON into with AI, and now those can interact, which is the kind of the basic part of it. Have we got that right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm saying is having just doing that is going to it's going to be a difficult sell without being able to. Okay, so you're wrapping these different languages together. There's all sorts of nuances around how the package is actually being written and so on. Each package, yep, fine. You can wrap it and then get it talking to something else. However, the big boys, this is very much the big boys area. They are going to be looking at AI in terms of, well, can you add on this blue brick to this purple brick, which are completely incompatible previously, and how can you test that in terms of actually building it? Now, Dreamcatcher is a brilliant way of doing it, but we don't have Dreamcatcher yet because we're building this
Hang on,
registry.
hang on. You just talked about connecting incompatible bricks together using AI. Yep.
Yes.
And then you
Yeah.
claimed that that was part of Dreamcatcher, but it's not.
No. We're saying Dreamcatcher is what we're saying is Dreamcatcher is a great way of building that, which we don't have yet.
Right.
But we don't have Dreamcatcher. But what we do have is the concept of, let's put a wrapper around what previously would be individual siloed packages
Yep.
or individual modules.
Yeah, and we're taking
these wrappers.
we're taking advantage of the industry shift where every man and his dog is now rewriting their apps across all languages to take JSON function call inputs because that's what the LLMs are producing, and that's the thing that we're trying to piggyback on urgently.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and you say, if I understood you correctly, you're saying Dreamcatcher is the perfect way to do that.
No, it is not.
Okay, I misunderstood. Okay.
If you take the JSON function platform and you included the fact that it was able to integrate with AI very natively, and you took the fact that it means that you can host your naps serverlessly with very little effort and overhead, that in itself is a business that we could run and start using the traditional startup model. And I think we'd do pretty good with it.
Okay. So
Now, what part of that
what's
box does any of that make you uneasy or sound or question or fuzzy? What's wrong with those things?
it's an idea, and ideas of it's a good idea. It's a great idea. That's what we were talking. But um, what's my concern here? Without uh, leveraging it, shit, move my thing again. Without leveraging it with AI, then we're essentially talking about another format.
No, it is leveraged with AI. I tried to. It is leveraged with AI. It is an AI native package format.
Right. And so
The AI piece
okay,
doesn't need the Dreamcatcher. You can
yes,
do the AI piece, the cloud hosting piece, and the package registry piece. You can do that all in a traditional venture. No
yeah,
problem. You'll
yeah.
do well too.
Okay, cool. So what we're saying is this is AI. Well, you say AI native, but
Yep.
essentially that means there's an instructions.md, which you don't have to have. That's optional.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
So removing that, it's a cool idea, but there's so many huge players that are all over this. It's like, yeah, okay. it would be very, very, very difficult to actually make a
Um,
penetration of it. They,
no,
they
I don't. I
really build
disagree with that because I think that the big guys have like it's hard for them to shift that quickly. There will be you've got about a year, maybe a year and a half worth of grace where this particular product is in very high demand and you won't have much competition at the start. But you better move like the bloody wind and get market share, or you're gonna not, you know.
yeah,
And
yeah,
most likely, what'll happen is that one of the big boys will be like, "Oh, look at these guys! They've got traction, they've got software, they've got a team. Let's just buy them." Right.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. But
all that I'm trying to like, I feel like I'm stalling with my explanation here because, like, let's just assume that that's true for argument's sake. You could argue against it for the same reason that you could argue against any venture being successful. You know, there's like a million and one reasons why anything will fail.
uh-huh.
The distinction I'm trying to draw is the fact that the Dreamcatcher is completely independent from the NAP platform, and my
Yeah, yeah,
right,
it runs on top,
it runs on top, but we
which is why
could do
there's
the
not,
Dreamcatcher
you know,
without the
it's,
NAP platform if we wanted to as well.
yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
shitty probably, but I'm sure if we really if someone put a gun to our heads and said figure it out, we'd probably find a way to do it without the NAP
Well,
platform.
before a whole bunch of LLMs came down, that's exactly what we're trying to do. Yeah.
Right, right. So the thing I'm trying to shock us with, to reorient ourselves with, is that this is an opportunity to bundle the Dreamcatcher with the JSON platform. An opportunity that is narrow because the NAP platform has a narrow window. And if we can replace the traditional